Every starry, bright-eyed web developer thinks they know the secret to validating email addresses. You probably have an idea in your head of what an email address looks like, and you think, I could make a regex for that. I don't know why everyone's saying this is so difficult. And then you very quickly realize just how terrible an idea this was, and how you had no idea what an email address actually looked like, and why there are countless articles talking about exactly this topic. You have to assume that if a user enters an email address, they know what it is. And if they're writing something weird, they are doing so on purpose. The only way to safely and correctly validate an email address is to send an email with some sort of validation token, and then if you get a response back, it's valid. If you don't, it's not valid. So of course, like with JavaScript, email is easy. Everyone knows what an email address is, right? Decide if each email address is valid or not. I use the email addresses library to verify against the relevant RFCs. Enjoy. Now, I've done a video in the past on weird valid email addresses, so I hopefully know more than the average person that thinks it's just name at domain. Let's just get started and see how this goes. First one, this is valid. This is a completely normal email address. No tricks here, just easing you into it. Next question. This is also pretty normal as well, and you'll often get these from various services. You might see a no reply tag, things like that. Also, totally normal, totally valid. The plus symbol is allowed, and email servers often treat it specially by ignoring everything after it. Very useful. Next question. Also, very simple one. You do need to have a domain. This is not valid. Can't have an email address with a domain. It won't know where to send it. Now we get into the real questions. So here we have the @ here we have a domain, but nothing on the left-hand side. No username, no local part of that address. This one also is invalid, nor can you have one without a local part. So, question 5. Can you have one without a TLD? I think this one is also invalid. Of course it's not. Okay, now it's the start of my downfall. This is technically valid, but considered obsolete. RFC 822 allowed domains without dots, but RFC 2822 made this obsolete. Okay, so this was valid, but they realized, hey, there's probably no reason to have this anymore because, well, we're not sending local emails anymore. This doesn't really make any sense. Okay, question 6. What about spaces? Now, are spaces converted into symbols like they would be for a regular URL? I'm gonna say they are, because they are, but this is on the username side, not the domain side. On the domain side, it might be fine. I'm gonna say that is valid. Of course it's... Okay, spaces are allowed between words. I'll be using that character to make spaces obvious. Okay, fair enough. A space at the start and a... This feels like the same sort of question, but I'm thinking that trailing characters and whatever the one at the start is called, I'm gonna say those are ignored. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, okay. The spaces get ignored by the spec. My email client rejects this. Okay, so it's valid, but most email clients just gonna be like, yo, that's stupid. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Okay, fair enough. Let's see about question 8 then. Trailing dot. Ooh, okay. I feel like I've seen this one before, but I don't remember if it was on the valid or invalid list. I think trailing dots are allowed. The local part cannot start or end with a dot. Dots in the middle are fine. Okay, I knew I'd seen a dot on the left-hand side. Right, okay. I was misled by some of my old information. Sure, fair enough. Spaces on the domain side. Now, is this going to be treated the same way? But it's trailing spaces. Are trailing spaces treated the same way in the local part as the domain part? Now, I would say it would make sense to treat them in the same way. However, I'm gonna go with invalid. Okay. You know, maybe I'm in the JavaScript mindset where I just don't trust what my ideas are. This is consistent. Okay. I now I'm gonna remember. This is probably gonna bite me later on. Email is somewhat more consistent than JavaScript, which is a low baseline, but it's still a baseline. So, trailing spaces are allowed, they're not allowed in the middle. Okay, fair enough. Okay, now we get into a weird, stupid one. So, spaces would normally not be allowed in the middle, but we have these brackets here. Now, is what is in the brackets treated differently than... I'm gonna say... I'm gonna trust my gut here and say these are just treated like normal characters, and this is bait, and this is invalid. Technically valid, okay. Did you know emails could have comments? Anything in parentheses is a comment. Hold up. Okay, okay, hold up. It was introduced in 8.22, but made obsolete in 5.3.22. So, wait, no, it is invalid then. Hold up, no, it was made invalid in a later RFC. No, that's invalid. Stop. No, that is the test making a mistake there. I will not accept that one. So this is a comment. Does this technically mean there is nothing on the local side? Or are comments still acceptable? I'm gonna say this counts as having nothing on the local side, so this is invalid. Comments don't count as part of the email address, so this is invalid for having no local part. Good. Okay, now we're back. Question 12. What is this? What am I looking at right now? That's a fork bomb. Why is there a fork bomb there? Is this some weird thing that gets special cased out of an address? Because this, I think... Because you can have quotes, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you can have quotes on the local side. But it's specifically a fork bomb, and that feels like bait. I'm gonna say that this is valid, and it's trying to bait me. Provided you put quotes around it, you can indeed have a fork bomb as your email address. The quotes don't end up as part of the email address. Okay. Yes, so for some reason you're allowed to use quotes, but they're just ignored, like trailing spaces are. Why? Don't think about it. Okay. Now, these are ignored. So, is this treated like having a comment here and this is invalid? Or are they ignored in a different way and this still counts as a valid address. I'm going to say this is invalid. While an empty local part due to comments is invalid, an empty local part due to quotes is valid. I don't know why. Okay, so this is still technically empty, but it's treated differently. We are getting back into JavaScript nonsense now, aren't we? Oh my god. Okay, question 14. Okay, so this is asking if there is a limit to the size of the local part. I don't think there is. Now, would you be stupid for doing this? And would most email clients probably reject it well before this point? Probably. But I think otherwise this is valid. No, it's not. 5322 limits the line length of headers to 998 characters, so you can only fit the first 2.5 minutes of the B-movie script before it's too long. Okay. So in the past, there actually wasn't a limit. But even if this is the limit, I'm gonna guess that most email clients probably reject it before this point, and most login prompts probably reject it as well. Okay. Okay, I know what this is. This is a funny one. This is a really funny one. So I know you can have an IP address as your domain. That is valid. But I don't know exactly the forms that you can use. We're going to say this is valid. The square bracket syntax allows you to specify IP addresses instead of domains, and : 1 is a shorthand for localhost in IPv6. Okay, yeah, okay, I knew that was a thing. Not this form, but I knew you could definitely use an IP address. Can we use... Okay, actually, this is interesting, because this is the format for specifying an IP address, but this is using an emoji. So, is an emoji converted into a number? Because you'd also just use an integer as the IP address as well. It doesn't actually have to be an IP form. I'm gonna say this is some weird, like, Gen Z use case that was introduced and is valid. Actually, they kind of just let you do anything as far as I can tell from RFC 6532. This is valid. Shouldn't be, but I'll take the point. Surely we can only go up from here, though. Okay, so we are missing a TLD here. I'm going to say this is invalid. This is probably valid on the local side, but there's no TLD. So this wouldn't be an emoji domain, which would be valid. Huh? What? Wait. So is this still treated... What? Wait. Wait. I don't even... Can we have an RFC? I don't know why this is valid. I actually have no idea what I'm looking at here. Okay. So, we can have anything in the square brackets, and that is considered valid. I think... So the quote marks here are ignored, but the @ sign would still be there. I'm pretty sure @ as your local is allowed, but I don't know if it's allowed by itself or only allowed with other symbols there. I think this is valid. You should complain to provider if they don't allow you to send an email to this one. Okay, good. So, okay, this part's fine, no issues there. We have... Oh god, now we need to... No, okay, wait, now we need to work out where the parentheses end. Okay, so this is one group, this is another group, so... Oh, hold up. I can't actually tell in my font. Wait, what? I actually can't even tell what this is. I think this might be... You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a little bit of minor cheating here. I thought that this in the center was maybe an unclosed quote mark, but no, it's not. Okay. So all of these are closed. All of this is closed. Are these treated separately from your quote marks? Because this is basically this is a comment here. And then these quote marks on the outside are ignored. We have an empty comment in the center. And then this surrounding it. I think the empty quote marks are still allowed in this context. Let's go valid. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I interpreted it slightly wrong, but we still got there. This ends up being interpreted as this, which is totally valid. Right. It's stupid. You shouldn't do it, but it is allowed. So, trailing dots are not allowed. But dots in the center, singular dots are allowed. Are multiple dots in a row allowed, though? I think this one, judging by the rule we saw earlier, I think this one is valid. Consecutive dots are not allowed. Okay, singulars are. Sure. What is this? What is this? I assume what we're asking here is... Can you have generic Unicode as your local? Considering we could have an emoji as the local, I don't see why other Unicode would not be allowed. This is not going to render correctly on anything. But I think this one is valid. Zalgo text is okay. What is Zalgo text? Cursed text or glitch text is digital text that has been modified with numerous combining characters. I didn't know this had a name. I see this show up on, like, YouTube, various other places. I did not know that was an actual, like, defined term. Yay! We did okay. We did average. To be fair, we did better than randomly guessing. Just barely. Just barely, but still better than random. What I will say is there is a lot more weird formats that could have been included here to make this even more annoying. There was no use of emoji domains, integers as the IP address, and a bunch of other really dumb cases that shouldn't... Okay, emoji domains make sense, but integers as an IP address that shouldn't work, that very well could have been explored here. Either way, though... This was still fun, and I hope you did better than I did, because I didn't do that good. So, if you liked the video, go check out email.wtf. Also, go check out the JS date one as well. That was so much worse. And, yeah, let me know what you get on both of those. If you liked the video, go like the video. If you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to the Pay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and tell me your email address right now. Like this.